You know what it is. Malik Shaheed, aka the Hype Creator, aka Versatile, aka Versatile. You watching the main source. Don't sleep on it, it's hot. Youth advocate. I've interviewed the biggest stars in the world. I've done Beyonce, Lil' Kim, Pink, Jay-Z, Kanye West, 50 Cent, Icona Pop, Hulk Hogan, Martin Solveig, you name it, I've interviewed all the biggest stars. I think when I did the 50 Cent interview, I did that in San Francisco, and I remember I was able to show a different side of 50 Cent, because everyone was asking him about him getting shot, him being a thug, but I wanted to know who he was as a person. And I remember I had went down myself and another VJ from Much Music, and I remember Much Music, they weren't satisfied with his interview, and they took pieces of my interview to finish their interview on Much Music. So when they did that, I knew that, you know, I did a great interview. And also 50 Cent was very friendly with me, and then each time I saw him, he'd invite me into their dressing room, take pictures, you know what I mean? So I was able to build a rapport with 50 Cent, and plus at that time, you know, Mobb Deep was on the label, Tony Yayo was on the label, you know what I mean? Banks was on the label, so there was like that love with, you know, myself and G Unit. And then also another memorable interview was Eminem. The first time anyone from Quebec had really interviewed Eminem. I remember waiting hours for Eminem to be interviewed, and I was hosting a show at the same time, and all the reporters left, and I was the only one. And all of a sudden, the record label goes, "Malik, it's your turn. They want you to interview them." And I had a chance to capture the first interview with Eminem in Quebec, so that was really great. And just also being able talk to Eminem like a person, like a human. The one thing about my interview style, I always try to talk to people like humans, like regular people, make it very conversational. And a lot of times when you see my interviews, you would think that me and the person knew each other before, but it's just, I was able to connect with them.
West Coast, I'm the doctor's advocate, homie Drake.
Nous sommes de retour dans le hood. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes à Montréal Nord. You know what I mean?
Not at all. One thing in Musique Plus, they gave me more of a laissez-passer. You know, I had to give them a reason why I wanted to bring it to the hoods. And for me, it was just important for the hoods to voice their opinions and give them a chance. One thing about me, you know, growing up in Little Burgundy, growing up in the hood, being around people, you know, who were cracked out, people who were pimps, people who were killers, people who were in jail, people who died, I was able to keep it real. I just took a different path in life, but I never forgot my roots. So that's how I was always able to relate to people in Montreal North and Saint Michel and the hoods, because I came from there, and I was able to be successful, and I didn't want to neglect them. I wanted to give these people a voice, and that's why I decided to do the interviews in the hood in Saint Michel and Montreal North, and give these people a chance to voice their opinions and talk about, you know, their surroundings.
Backstage, baby girl, all my ladies looking hot tonight. Get down, down.
I'm an entertainer, and I'll tell you why. We used to go on tour. I won't name any names, with a lot of popular French rappers. And what people were in awe of Malik Shaheed was the whole swag. Back then, I had a very unique persona, talking in French, talking English, but I had energy on stage. I was a one-man show, and I would be able to rock a crowd alone, tout seul. Then these guys bring in tens of thousands of people on stage, and they can't rock a crowd. You understand? I understood, I'm a party rocker, I'm an entertainer. So, you know, that's what stood out for me as, you know, doing the whole Franglais album. And doing the whole Franglais album was only an opportunity for me to tour across Quebec and meet my clients, meet my fans, and build a brand, the Malik Shaheed brand. You see, I'm a go-getter. I'm a hustler. I don't sit around. I make things happen. And I was able to tour with my DJ, right? Then I would perform my songs. I was making more money doing one show than I was getting paid a week at Musique Plus. You understand? And it was just crazy, meeting the fans, taking pictures. And Musique Plus loved it because at the end of the day, they weren't going to the regions. I started that whole thing, going to the regions, like going 5 hours away, 6 hours away, 2 hours away, party rocking. And then from there, I started Danse Quebec. And Danse Quebec today is one of the biggest dance programs in schools on the island of Montreal. So what I used to do at Danse Quebec, I used to go with people from Blueprint crew. Before Blueprint was big, I actually made them and brought them across Quebec to blow up their name. And we used to give dance lessons to the kids and so forth. That's how the whole Danse Quebec thing started. Then I started doing big dance festivals, big hip hop dance festivals in Quebec City, where I have all the kids from different regions across Quebec come for workshops with Luther Brown, who's a renowned choreographer in LA. We had Nico Archambault, you know what I mean? So Musique Plus was a stepping stone to a lot of things that I'm doing now, including my foundation, the Youth Stars Foundation. I'm director here at the Youth Stars Foundation. I'm an advocate for youth, so one of my goals is to help out kids, So it was a school for me, but also a way to launch and do different things. See, I wasn't like the other VJs sitting around waiting for someone to tell them what to do. I was proactive. I was going to schools, talking to kids, telling them about, stay away from drugs, focus on schools. I was organizing tours with the Canadian government called, what was it called? La Tournée contre la toxicomanie. So basically a tour against drugs and alcohol. I was going around different regions. So, I had a great run at Musique Plus. No complaints. You see me smiling.
Welcome to the Malik Shaheed Show. It's about to go down.
Before social media. Right now these interviews are shorter. So the interviews on average are 3 minutes. Whereas at Musique Plus, I would do 3 interviews of 3 minutes. Today people have a short attention span. So, you gotta be in and out with these interviews. No long interviews. And it's just to keep me, how would I say? I love doing interviews. You know what I mean? So it's sort of like basketball. If you don't practice, then you sort of lose your touch, your rust. So just to keep me out there, keep me doing what I like to do, and giving opportunities to, newer generation, older generation, mid-generations to voice their opinion and have a platform to talk to somebody about themselves. I want to send a shout out to everyone, supporting hip hop, everyone working hard. And I want you all to check out my new boxing show, boxinglife.tv. Check it out, it's the biggest and the hottest boxing show right now on the planet. It's crazy. People are bugging out in the US, in the UK, in Canada. It's crazy, it's going crazy right now. Boxinglife.tv. That's the new evolution in boxing. Shout out to the main source doing their thing, man, giving opportunities to other people. You know what? And not waiting for mainstream media. Do it yourself. You want something done? Do it yourself. That's the best advice I ever got. You want something done? Do it yourself.